Hi and welcome to another Dech Academy video. Here I have question 49, and you're given this, well, nasty looking expression involving a variable x and some numbers and m. You also find m. So my advice for this kind of situation is to simplify the expression, or look for ways to simplify the expression before trying to proceed. And if you notice, you see that you have x plus 2 times this term plus 2 times x plus 2 and x plus 2. So you have x plus 2 everywhere. I mean, I could rewrite this expression like as this. So I've just rewritten this way. I'll just rearrange the order in which the multiplication is carried out. It doesn't change the result. So now we have written it. X plus 2 is the first term, is the first part of every term. And you can simplify this equation by dividing through by x plus 2. So you have to spot that you can do this. Otherwise, you'll have to multiply everything out and it'll be complicated. So divide through by x plus 2. That means divide every term by x plus 2. Whatever I do, or you can also think of it this way: divide the left-hand side by x plus 2 and divide the right-hand side by x plus 2. If you remember from your maths lessons, whatever, if you have an equation, if you modify the left-hand side by multiplying it by a number, or dividing by a number, or adding a number to it, or subtracting a number to it, you must do the exact same thing to the right-hand side to preserve the equality. So that's simply what we're doing here. We're dividing through by x plus 2, and by doing that, you get you get a situation where I mean, without going into much detail, you just see that if you divide this term by x plus 2, this x plus 2 cancels out. If you divide this expression by x plus 2, x plus 2 cancels out. If you just divide this expression by x plus 2, x plus 2 cancels out. So basically x plus 2 here will be 1, here 1, and 1. So what you get is x squared minus 3x plus 2 plus x minus 1 times 2 equals m. So m is this. So all we have to do is simplify this. And you get x squared minus 3x plus 2 plus 2x minus 2 is equal to m. That means m is whatever this is, which is x squared. If I group like terms, so group all the x's, I have minus 3x plus 2x, I have plus 2 minus 2. So simplifying gives me m equals x squared minus x plus 0, which means m is x squared minus x. So I'll just go over what I just did, because I'll admit this is not, I mean, you have to spot that you can divide through by x plus 2. I guess an easier way to demonstrate the approach to this problem is to use a simpler example, because that involves complex looking algebraic terms. So if you had the following situation, imagine you had 2a plus 6a equals 9. Whoa, that won't be true. Equals 8a. You can divide through by a and get the a's cancelling out, and you're left with 2 plus 6 equals 8. And the reason why you can divide through by a is because every term is multiplied by a. And that's pretty much what happens here. You have an x plus 2 term multiplied by this term. You have an x plus 2 term multiplied by this term and that term. You have an x plus 2 term multiplied by this term. So, and I rewrote the equation so that you have x plus 2 multiplied by a term. You have x plus 2 multiplied by a term, or a couple of terms. You have x plus 2 multiplied by another term. And you could just divide through by x plus 2 to cancel it out and simplify your problem. And we got this expression, which we simplified to give x squared minus x. So I guess my advice would be to always look to simplify equations. I mean, these things take practice, and the more practice you do, the better you will be at spotting ways to simplify expressions. Also, the more questions you do, the more familiar you'll be with the tricks the Waec examiners throw at students. So just keep practicing.